Mei Hatsume is officially in One's Justice 2. I'm excited to jump in and try out the character. This is going to be like a first impressions special move list video thing. Now, Mei Hatsume came out a little bit early for me because I live in Australia. Let me know in the comment section if Mei Hatsume or Mei Hatsume, it's meant to be pronounced Mei, but for some reason I always pronounce it Mai. Let me know if Mei Hatsume is available in your region or not, and that way people can check the comments and know whether it's available in their region. Because whenever I put out one of these types of videos that come out just a little bit earlier than everybody else because I live in Australia, I usually get questions like, oh, how do you get Mei Hatsume this early? Or how do I get insert character here this early? Just because I live in a different region. So if you've been paying attention to the channel, you know that this is probably the character I'm looking forward to most. I like the character a lot aesthetically. I think she's really cool. I like the idea of like a kind of crazy, hyperactive character. And somebody who's not really like a traditional hero being in the game is also quite exciting. So personally, I'm just going to go with the default costume for now while we mess around with the character a little bit. I did a bunch of these types of videos before with Jump Force and various other games I've played in the past. Basically, the idea is we're going to go into training mode. We're going to try out the character, check what super moves and special moves do, give you my first impressions on the character, and then tomorrow maybe we'll do like a gameplay video or something like that. Now, I'm fully aware that Mei's moveset was leaked online quite a while ago, but I didn't take a look at much of that, so I'm going to be looking at this with fresh eyes for the first time. So, all right, so let's run through all of her abilities because I think that's the best way to do this, and then we'll maybe talk about ways that you can put them all together. This is her light string. Kind of puts the opponent up in the air. It's a very short light string and it's not particularly exciting. Her Armour Move kind of just throws her directly up into the air. And this is her red attack. I like this a lot. I like the conceptual idea of this being, first of all, that dash animation's incredible. Look at that. That's amazing. No pun intended. But her red attack kind of throws her away from the opponent. So there's interesting stuff you might be able to do with that. All right, let's check out our Quirk buttons now that we've checked out all the normals. Quirk 1 puts the opponent in a net, so you can get a free combo after that. The key to this net ability is going to be figuring out the optimal ways to use it. But for now, while we're just figuring it out, it's going to be a really awkward move, I think. The tilt version of her Quirk 1 is as followed. She kind of like zip lines to the enemy. You can do some interesting stuff with this, continue combos. Her Quirk 2 is this kind of spinny thing. She doesn't really get a lot off of that, unfortunately. You can hold that down to get a longer version of it, though, which looks like this. And then if you do it for too long, you end up in a dizzy state. But that dizzy state doesn't last very long. So look, I'll do it as long as I can. And I can already move again before the opponent's even up. So it's kind of just an aesthetic thing. Unless they block it, in which case, then of course you're going to get punished. And then the tilt version of her Quirk 2 is this. She throws a barrel at the enemy. So this is going to be her zoning option. It's kind of weird because it curves. So I don't know how much utility you can get out of this. If the opponent just decides to run at me, it's just not going to hit them. So yeah, this one's kind of awkward. Yeah, I was seeing if there was any way I could like control it with different inputs, but no, it really just kind of behaves on its own. It's weird. I honestly don't think this ability is very good, but it is what it is. All right, from here we can check out the Plus Ultras, which I think is probably the most exciting part about a new character, right? So let's check out her Plus Ultra 1.
Sorry for the sudden explosion. Time for the main event.
Boom. That's a big projectile. Can you do it in the air? You cannot do it in the air. Most characters can't do their Plus Ultra in the air, though, so that's not too big of a surprise. Check out her Plus Ultra 2. We've seen sneak peeks of this before. It's the first time we're going to have a real look at the full version. Oh, I need more Plus Ultra meter. Give me the Plus Ultra. Oh, we just did a cute little combo right there, actually. That's an example of how you can put together those abilities. Really cool. All right, let's check out her Plus Ultra 2. I love the giggle. All right, utilizes the net.
Check out these appealing features.
Forces the jetpack onto him, of course. On Mirio, this doesn't make a lot of sense. He could just phase out of it. I like that. Talking to the camera. Very cool. And then a reference to the Ida fight. Yeah, that's really awesome. And then she throws the barrel. It's really long. I know a lot of people don't like long Plus Ultras, or at least I hear a lot of people complain about it, but for what it does, I think it's really cool. So how can we put together some of this stuff, man? So when we mash this, what do we get? An opponent just stuck up in the air. But from there, we can do the armor version of the attack, right? Oh, wow. Maybe we can't. Do we need a super dash out of it, maybe? So for the regular light string, from there, you can do Quirk 1, and then go into the armor move, and then go into the tilt version of Quirk 1, And that kind of puts you in a cool spot. But apart from that, I haven't figured out anything too crazy yet. So that combo is kind of weird, but it looks like this. Puts the opponent on the ground, you know? It's something. Alternatively, you can go boop, boop, boop. And then, like, you can use a plus ultra thing or whatever, or you could set up this. And when you've got them in the air, you can always just use the quirk too, right? So you could do boop, 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 boop. Oh, no. Wow, you gotta do that quick, maybe? Of course, you can't do the net twice in one combo. They're just gonna fall out. Ah, that doesn't quite work out. Don't feel worried about going into the stun state after this, because assuming that you actually hit the move, they're on the ground longer than you're stunned for. So it looks scary to do that, but in actuality, you're just not punished for it at all. Oh, that's kind of cool. But I get, like, no damage for it. Her damage doesn't seem great. I think I'm going to have to mess around with this character a lot to really figure out what I want to do with her. She's definitely one of the weirder characters on the roster, so it's hard to put together too much with her. I don't even know what her general game plan wants to be. She's not, like, fast enough or doesn't really have the utility to be a rushdown character. Oh, you can throw the bomb after that. That's cool. Her best tools are kind of like zoning options and like punishing people for like walking in. So she kind of plays like a zoner, maybe. But on the other hand, her zoning options are kind of weak, especially compared to some of the other characters on the roster. And then she's got the net, so maybe you're like, okay, maybe she's like a zoner, but then she goes in to punish people with combos, and that's certainly probably what she's gonna end up being. But I can't find her combo routes that are particularly good, so I'll sit on it. I'll give it some time, figure out the character, and then we'll do a gameplay video tomorrow, I think. Assuming that I figure out the character in that time. All right, let me know what you think of Mei Hatsume in My Hero One's Justice 2. My name is Bilbzy, and I hope you enjoyed her moveset showcase. I'll be sure to catch you in the next video.